Hey guys, so before we get into the video, I wanted to throw this in the start. I've been told by a handful of you guys that you've been unsubscribed. If you want to be subscribed, just make sure you still are. I don't know if turning on the little bell will help anything. I don't know for sure, but there were some of you that were unsubscribed, not on purpose. So if you want to be subscribed, make sure you are, and possibly turn on the bell if you want to. And if not, it's all good either way. So let's get started. Hey guys. Ooh, how are you guys today? So I really wanted to make a video yesterday, but honestly I wasn't feeling too great, so I didn't do anything yesterday. Honestly, just relax and take it easy. So yeah, I wasn't feeling too good, but I'm feeling a lot better today. So I'm glad that some days you just need to listen to your body, and if you don't feel good, you don't feel good. And that's a day to take it easy. So yeah, that's what happened there. And today it looks like it might want to rain. I don't know what's going on, but here we are. So I need to run a couple of errands, and yeah. First and foremost, I want to talk about a few things in this video. First thing I want to talk about is Morphe dropping James Charles. I'm not going to read this statement in this video because I'm sure you guys have seen this statement 15 times by now, and it's just redundant. So Morphe dropping James Charles, here's my problem with all of this. When people do the right thing only because they're being called out for it, do the right thing because it's the right thing. Don't do the right thing because your ass is getting called out for it. And I feel like that's exactly what they did. I wouldn't expect anything else from Morphe because honestly, they're just, in my opinion, super shady. So them cutting ties with James Charles does not do anything for me as a customer because I was never a customer from the get-go. I just, I never cared for their products, and then once they started collabing with people like Jaclyn Hill, I don't care for companies that consistently collab with bad influencers. So for me, them cutting ties is not going to make me or break me as a customer because I'm not a customer. But is that not just so ridiculous when companies sit there and want to wait until the very last minute, and on top of it, the other thing that they said in their statement, I'll put it in here, just if you guys haven't seen it, you can pause the video to read it if you're interested. But the other thing that they said is that they're winding down sales. And this is something that a lot of people caught on to and noticed right away. When I saw that part of winding down sales, to me, I took that as, don't expect James's products to be gone from our website anytime soon, because we are doing this gradually. Honestly, Morphe is big enough of a company, in my opinion. They could have taken the hit, pulled all of his shit off of the website, and kept it moving. Get it out of Ulta stores, get it out of Morphe stores, take it off the website. Take the hit to show people that you are here to do the right thing. Even if it was late, better late than never, I always say that, but you're still not pulling all his shit from your website because you want to continue to make money off of his name. I hope you feel good making all of that money off of someone like James. who has shown us who he is. I have my David's tea today. And the other thing I'll say, anyone who is sticking up for James Charles right now needs to, in my opinion, have a massive reality check. I do not understand how anyone in their right mind could give him even a fraction of pity. This is a pattern. He's a grown adult, and he needs to be held responsible in the court of law, period. All right, guys. So, I had to go in Walgreens. I got a Red Bull for later. I love the coconut Red Bull. That one's my favorite. Oh, and then I got this lip pencil. So you're gonna laugh. Well, you might not laugh. But I got this lip pencil a while ago from Walgreens. It's the NYX Brown, because I want to see how it compares to my NYX Toast. So it's a little deeper and a little more warm tone. That's not bad. So I bought that a while ago, and my dumbass forgot that it was in the bag and threw it in the trash. So I completely wasted my money. And I'm going to try this nail protein. This is the Formula 2. I usually get the 2 Plus, but they didn't have the 2 Plus. So anyway, let's take off. Morphe finally cuts James Charles off. In my mind, it's way, way, way late, but I will give them credit where credit is due. However, if it was really a conscious, decision to do this, I personally feel like if they wanted to do right, they could have taken the hit, take all of his stuff off of the site, and show people we do not want to be aligned with someone like this. I just talked the other day in that video where I talked about a situation that I was wrong in. And in that video, I talked about aligning yourself with people, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. The people that you align yourself with in life can speak volumes to what your character is. And by them, still continuing to want to make money off the James Charles collab and names, I still think that it shows Morphe, what their true intentions are. So at the end of the day, am I surprised that Morphe has their pockets come before their, proving a point? No, I'm not surprised by it, but I would hope that, people that might have been on the fence with Morphe, or maybe they were Morphe customers, this could also just make them lose more customers due to the delay in action and the fact that they didn't just accept taking the hit. And the other problem is that James, he never disappoints. I'm so fucking tired of James Charles. So when Morphe released their statement, oh, and by the way, they released it on Twitter, which is their smallest social platform as far as number of followers. They did not release it on Instagram. They haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't put anything on their website. I'll fact check that and correct myself if I'm wrong. They want to throw it up on Twitter, I guess hoping that, their customers that don't have Twitter and don't listen to YouTube commentary channels or drama channels, those customers won't realize what's going on. So the other thing that James decided to do is they released statements at the same time, he and Morphe. And in James's statement, instead of just, this is a time for responsibility. This is a time not to point the finger back at people or shift blame or deflect. This is a time for James to say, I was wrong, period. Not I was wrong, but, or I was wrong and I was wrong. Just like, stop talking. And I hate to say it so directly like that, but like, just shut up. Say you're sorry and stay quiet. Nobody needs all of these, follow-up messages and blaming and all of this stuff that's been going on. I think the, ego, arrogance, and pride part of these influencers can really show itself when there is a problem or they're getting called out on something. And while usually I could say, okay, well, I understand that, I don't think that anything revolving around SA allegations, or SA as a general topic, because James has acknowledged some of his victims. I don't think that's the time to allow your ego, arrogance, and or pride to shine through. And that's what I'm seeing with James. The other thing that he did was, in his statement, he decided to threaten drama channels and anyone who has been reporting on this and reporting incorrect facts. And while I completely agree that nobody should be reporting incorrect facts and not correcting themselves, and when I saw that, I immediately thought of Deaf Noodles, whatever, what a mess that is. Instead of just talking about Morphe, he also wants to throw that in there, and he also wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he was the one that contacted Morphe. So to put himself up just a little bit, I'm the one that stepped forward. It wasn't Morphe that contacted me. It's just all of this prideful crap. Now is not the time. I don't like all that, arrogant ass attitude that most of these influencers exhibit anyway. But especially right now. Just please shut the hell up, dude. Say your apology and shut up. So I know a lot of you guys were wondering kind of what I thought about Morphe cutting him off, but I'm also just I'm satisfied that they did, but I'm also left very unsatisfied because they're still making money off of him. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. The other thing that has happened is that YouTube has demonetized temporarily, because I don't know if it's permanent, they have temporarily demonetized James Charles' YouTube channel. So again, this is sort of, again, a double-edged sword, because while I want to give YouTube a round of applause for doing the right thing, A, it took them way too long to do this. B, there's been no statement made. So, where is the follow-up statement to say we are denouncing these behaviors? This is not something that we want to, have our creators, we don't want to be associated with creators like this. This is what we're doing. here are resources if you are, you know, a victim of James or anyone else. Like, it definitely could have been structured in a way where the audience of YouTube would have maybe accepted it a little bit differently than they do, because, or than they have, because there have been a ton of people who are looking at this like I am, where it's like, okay, good, but not good enough. And I don't want to hear any of this crap about how young James is. I think that's complete and utter nonsense. He is 21 years old, and James Charles is in a position where this is a pattern. This is not something that happened one time and it's just now coming to light. This is something that is a proven pattern of behavior with him, and it's been over the course of an extended period of time. You know, I feel like I focus more on people's patterns of behavior instead of, you know, obviously the stuff with James is completely different because it revolves around SA. But as a general concept, I typically, when it comes to these problematic influencers, I feel like, you know, I am pretty forgiving. But the problem is with most of them, it is proven to be patterns. Whether it's lying or, you know, the entitlement that a lot of them show, it is typically a lot of patterns. So I don't understand how anyone can look at James Charles and say, oh, well, no, there is no justification for this. There is no justifying what James Charles has done. One time was one too many. So, you know, and these are not rumors. These are things that he has admitted to. There is no excusing that away. No. So anyway, you guys, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on James and the whole YouTube and Morphe thing. I would expect, you know, I would have expected my channel to be demonetized. Like, I think YouTube should be a little bit more in tune with what some of these influencers are doing. I'm not saying everyone deserves to be demonetized, but there's been a lot of really, really problematic stuff that goes against terms of service. I look at, without a crystal ball, I look at some of these creators who are on their platforms bullying others. YouTube needs to be a little bit more proactive with keeping creators in check that are out here violating terms of service, being outright toxic, and not using their platform for good. Look at self-taught beauty. In my opinion, that is not what YouTube is for, and that's what I've said for a very long time. YouTube is not a platform that you come on and you just feed off of people's compassion and sympathy for bad situations. That's not what YouTube is for. Allow your content to speak for itself. Play by the rules. And, you know, YouTube can be pretty good. I've had my own fair share of negative experiences, but, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. And you can't run up on your channel and be an asshole, and then when karma comes back and the, you know, roles are reversed, then all of a sudden you're not being treated fairly. Like, no, come the fuck on. But I do feel like YouTube should be a little bit more in tune with what creators are doing, and when it's brought to YouTube's attention, there should be consequences paid. So anyway, you guys, yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think that YouTube is completely, out of touch with holding creators to a certain level of standards? Do you think that they turn a blind eye? I thought it was really interesting how, YouTube, I really would love to know what people at YouTube headquarters were having to say about the Without a Crystal Ball lawsuit. When all of these things were being brought to the forefront, I would love to know what they thought. You have these things and then it's like the lawsuit goes away. Katie Joy is still running rampant on her channel, being problematic with other creators, being toxic to her own audience. And unless the lawsuit is refiled, which now I'm having second guesses about, I don't know if it's going to be refiled. And that is only going to boost her ego. Problematic creators need to be held to the terms of service, period. Let's try this little lip pencil. See if I like it. It seems much more warm in tone. To me, it almost seems more like a burgundy than a brown. But I'm sure I'll get some use out of it here and there. And plus it was like $3, so it's not like it's a big investment. So yeah, those are my thoughts on everything surrounding James. And, who knows what will happen. I do hope that the boys that were directly, messaged and affected by him, I do hope that they file charges. I really do. I hope that the parents are there to, help guide these boys, and I really hope that charges are brought forward, because unfortunately, when you have people like James not held accountable in a court of law, it is only going to get worse. It's only going to repeat itself. He's already shown us that. And he will only, have a longer list of things as time goes on. So that's going to be it for now. I need to eat my lunch and have a productive day. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.